Good morning, LPES. Happy Friday feeling, my friends. It is good to be back with you this week. I am excited for us to get our week wrapped up together and kind of discuss what's coming up in the next couple of weeks and just get ourselves set and ready to go for this last day of the week. Next week, we don't have school on Friday, so there's not going to be a Friday feeling next week. Next week, we are off Thursday and Friday for Teachers Convention. So we have a nice short week, which is something to look forward to, something to kind of work towards for all of us. I thought we would start off today. I've really been enjoying using these cards that we've been looking at. So I thought we would start off by kind of reviewing the one that we picked last week and picking another one and seeing where it takes us. So last week's mindful morning card was to leave a positive message for someone else to find. Today's is going to be, let's try this one. Ooh, kind of similar to leaving a positive message for someone else. This one says, tell someone how much they mean to you. So let's all think about this one for a moment. And maybe think about a person that means a lot to you. It could be a family member. It could be a friend. It could be a teacher or someone else maybe in our community who does something really important. A teacher or a staff member, someone who works at our school. Telling someone how much they mean to you. When we do things for other people, when we are open with other people and honest with other people about how much they mean to us, or thanking them for something they've done for us, or just acknowledging something great that they did, it can not only make them feel much better, but it can also light up our heart inside, light up our insides as well. So I like that one very much. So this week's challenge, we can look at it as a weekend challenge, as a week challenge to do before next week, is tell someone how much they mean to you. And that doesn't have to be just saying like, Mom, I love you, and moving on. It could be a little bit more detailed, like, Mom, thank you so much for making my lunch every day and taking care of me. Or, to your teacher, thank you for being patient with our class and for, trying to teach us new things all the time and make us smarter and better humans, whatever it might be. But I like that one very much. Oh, I just lost it. Let me put it on the front so that we can review it next week together. Okay. So friends, to kick off our Friday feeling and continue our mindfulness practices, I thought that we could start today by doing a senses check-in. Now, I love doing a senses check-in because it makes it really difficult for our mind to be bouncing all over the place. When we have something, sometimes it's called like monkey brain, of like almost like a monkey swinging from tree to tree to tree. Our brain kind of bounces around and is filled with all different kinds of ideas, whether it's things like who we're going to play with at lunchtime, at recess, what we're going to do after school, that test that we have later on that we're not looking forward to. Our mind is constantly going. And when we're mindful, we are able to kind of close out some of those other ideas or those other thoughts and just to focus in on a few other things or focus in on one particular thing. And so when we do a senses check-in, it's really wonderful for bringing our ideas, bringing our thoughts down and just kind of focusing in, dropping in on that one thing we're focusing on, whether it's what you see, what you hear, what you smell, what you taste, what you touch. Okay? So I'm going to ask you to find a comfortable position. Before we start, I'm actually just going to pause for a second, so I'll be right back so I can get myself a little bit more settled. So as I said, we're going to be sitting nice and tall in a comfortable position. Our back should be straight. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a few deep breaths in, whether it's in through your nose or in through your mouth. Doesn't matter to me, especially this time of year. Some of us, our noses are a little stuffed up, so it might be tough to breathe in through your nose. But we're going to start by taking 5 deep breaths together. And I'm actually going to grab an item for us to use to do this because I liked using this last week. There it is. So we're going to use our magic breathing ball to take those 5 deep breaths together to get ourselves centered, and then we'll do our senses check-in. Ready? Let's get started. Excellent. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit calmer. I know I'm feeling a little bit better than I was when we started. And what we're going to do is we're going to focus in on each of those 5 senses. So we're going to start with one of the easiest one, and that's going to be something you can see. And so it can be something that you see right in front of you. It could be something even on my screen, if that's easier. It could be something that you see in your classroom. But you're going to fix your eyes on whatever it is and think about what color it is, what size it is, what that object might feel like. Would it be cold? Would it be warm? Would it be hard or soft? And you keep breathing normally just as you do this. Let's go ahead and move now to something you can feel. And so this might be the feeling of your chair underneath you. It might be the feeling of your clothes on your skin or your hair. It might be the feeling of the air brushing past. Focusing on where you feel that, what it feels like. Taking a deep breath in and letting it go. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and move to something you can hear. I don't know if you can hear it, but I have my little waterfall going over there, so that's something I hear right now. But what do you hear in these moments? Any sounds happening in or outside of your classroom? Any sounds you hear from our video? Take a deep breath in and let it go. These last 2 are trickier. We've talked about them before. You might not always be able to sense something when we do these last 2, and that's okay. That's not the point. Sorry, my nose is suddenly a little stuffy, which is tough for this next one. We are going to do smell. So we're going to breathe in and see if there's anything that you can smell. Maybe it's your clothes. Hopefully they smell good. Maybe it's something you just ate that you can still smell. Maybe it's a smell in the classroom. If you don't smell anything at all, that's okay too. The point isn't to have something for every single sense. The point is to be checking in with those senses to stop that bouncy ball brain going everywhere. And last one is taste. So do you taste anything? Anything that you had for breakfast? Anything that you just had? Maybe you taste toothpaste if you just brushed your teeth before you came to school and are watching this in the morning. If not, again, that's okay. Not the point. The point is for us to just focus in and pause for a moment. Let's take one last deep breath in together and let it go. All right. So when I paused my camera earlier, it was because I wanted to get myself a little bit more settled. I actually need to blow my nose because, like I said, my nose is a little stuffy. But I want to grab a book, and that book is Breathe Like a Bear. And this book is full of 30 mindful moments that you can do, or 30 different things that we can kind of practice together. And so when I went to get this, I opened a page and I found one that goes along really nicely with that mindful card that we pulled earlier that tells someone what they mean to you card. And so we're going to stay seated in that nice comfortable position, and we're just going to have one last mindful moment today together before we wrap things up and we get started with the rest of our day. So this mindful moment is called kindness. And it says, think of something kind you've done for someone. Oh, forgot for a moment. If you'd like, you can take another deep breath and you can close your eyes if you feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, that's okay. You can just kind of find a point to stare at, find something to fixate on. It doesn't even have to be me on this video. You can pretend I'm not even here, but kind of fix your eyes somewhere. So think of something kind you've done for someone. Maybe you helped someone in your family with something at home, or you helped a friend at school. Think of something kind that someone else did for you. And how did that make you feel? When we think of that kind act, where do we feel it? Do we feel it in our heart? Does it kind of make us feel nice and warm in our heart, in our chest? Does it make us feel like almost butterflies in our stomach? Does it make us just feel light and airy? Does it bring about a sense of peace? Now think of something kind that you haven't done yet, but you will the next time you have the chance? Could be anything at all. Is there someone you could help or say some kind words to? Try to remember to do that kind thing when you can. So that is our kindness moment. It's pretty simple, but it just gets us thinking about how we feel inside when we're able to do something kind for someone else. When we're able to take a moment, even if we're struggling, even if we're having an uncomfortable emotion like feeling frustrated or angry or sad, we can have those uncomfortable feelings and still be a kind person. It's challenging, but you can do it, and I can do it. Just isn't always our first intention or idea when we're feeling that uncomfortable emotion. So that's my challenge to you. Almost like 2 challenges this week. 1, tell someone how you feel about them, what they mean to you. Thank them for something they've done. And the second is practicing kindness when it's uncomfortable. Practicing kindness when you don't feel great, when you don't feel particularly good, when you don't feel particularly kind. Because if we're able to do it in those moments, wow, it'll be so much easier to do it when we're feeling just normal, or when we're feeling just kind of okay, or when we're feeling great. It'll be so simple to practice kindness in those times if we're able to start doing it when we're dealing with those uncomfortable emotions like anger, frustration, sadness, jealousy. It's a big one. Loneliness. That's my challenge to you this week, LPS. I know you can do it. So this week's theme, it kind of turned into a little bit of a theme on kindness. So I challenge you all to go out, to spread some kindness, and as always, stay kind, LPES. I'll see you again next week.